said the same thing, and he couldn't do it. So I don't know. Right now, it seems as if this whole thing, this online thing, our government says they want to do one thing, they seem to be doing another. I just hope it's not going to be the same thing with the immigration portal that just came out, that was just launched yesterday or so. So that's the issue with Scrum certificate. I don't know what you guys have to say about that. Let me go to Mr. Fong. Mr. Fong, what do you have to say about the
Okay.
EFCC?
Um. Yeah. Are we live
Okay.
now? Hear
We
me?
are live.
Yeah,
We are live.
it looks like we're live.
We are live. We are live.
Oh,
We're 40 seconds live.
Yeah, Mr. Fong.
Yes, it's really crazy how we do things in this country. Uh, I also remember when though it's been a few years now, uh, when I did my own SCUML certificate. Uh, it took me about 3 days uh, physically at the EFCC office uh, to even get to start the process in the first place. And then since then, I have worked with a number of MSMEs and businesses that are required to do this certificate. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm beginning to think that this is becoming systemic. Uh, trying trying to adopt technology to make life and processes a bit easier and more accessible uh, to the different strata of society that are concerned. But then it looks like systemically, it looks like there are some people in the system that do not want these processes to work very well because the experience has been with the SCUML website. Uh, Very similar experiences businesses have heard, even with registration on the CAC website. Very similar situations where you actually have the tool or the platform to do it, but the platform fails to work. Why is it like that? And you remember the glitch we had during the elections. Is it that it's the god of glitches only exists in Nigeria or what?
interesting.
Because
That
yeah, because a lot of businesses are not able to do this online. A lot of businesses, I have not known anyone that has been able to get this done online by themselves. They have to find the system has to find a way of getting you to go there physically because that is when things changes hands. So it looks like when you try to fight corruption, corruption is fighting back.
that's a very important point. Let me come in here, phone. It is ironical that this has to do with the EFCC, the National Army Against Corruption. In fact, the
That's
nuclear
right.
weapon against corruption in Nigeria.
That's
Uh,
right.
we also have Musa Eyababa joining us from Niger State in Mina. He is a consultant and he has worked with some MSMEs.
Yeah.
Eyababa, you're welcome to
Okay.
DDM as E Dey Happen. What has been your
Oh,
experience?
yeah. Sorry, thank you so much, Mr. Pan. My name is Musa Ebayaya. Ebayaya is
Ebayaya.
my surname. Yeah,
Yes, sorry.
Ebayaya is my
Ebayaya.
surname, and it's my family name. Um, I am happy to be here with you. And then talking about the SCUM certificate. If you look at the objective, is very clear and then very good, very beneficial even to the MSMEs, because it will ensure that if you have been able to register your school certificate, it implies that your MSME or an organization is not used to at least for money laundering in Nigeria. However, the process, just like the prof whom said I've just mentioned, usually is always very cumbersome. From the experience, I've also done my SCUML certificate, and just like Spoon mentioned, it took me almost 3 days too, because you have to make sure that your presence is there physically.
Yeah.
I think one of the
Yeah.
things I have noticed is it's like some of their staff, the staff members of this organization that are handling this, also own a private business center around that place, so that by the time you are there and you maybe you try to do it online and you are not able to access, then they recommend a place for you where you are going to at least do it perfectly without any glitches, just like my colleague were able to identify. So, what came to my mind when I was trying to do it was, so these people ensure that this process is not up to uh, come up easily for the applicant, so that they can as well make use of their business centers
Yeah.
to make money out from people. So
That is
also
true.
another thing, based on the experience working with MSMEs, you realize that if you mention to them that they are going to do their certification for SCUM and it is going to be in Abuja, that is one thing that always scared them, because some of them have not even been to Abuja in their lifetime. That is one aspect. Also, going
It's
to
true.
EFCC office to also
Yeah.
carry out this process. It's another thing that always we have as challenge, because when you mention Abuja, you also mention EFCC office again. No, they will always tell you these are always no-go area, and unless you can support them to do it. And school site registration is not something that you can always do for these MSMEs. They must have to present be there by themselves, because I think when you do the registration, they will invite you the following day to come for maybe some lectures, like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. So it's not something that you do for someone. So I would recommend that if it is going to be possible, let it be so easy. The process should be so simple that you can easily sit down comfortably in your room, and then carry it out without even going to Abuja or EFCC office or to carry out. Or they can as well, maybe if they can have state offices, because this time around the process is not decentralized. Like in
Yeah.
Mina, Niger said, I don't see anywhere where this EFC SCUM registration is being done.
Yeah.
If it is possible that they can decentralize it, so that people can access this process through state offices, I think that is another thing. Then another thing that I also recommend is they can as well make use of agents, just like the CSC registration. I know one or two agents that have been doing it for people, and then is going on smoothly. I think this is going to be my recommendation on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very,
That's
thank you
that's
very much,
that's right.
Ebaya.
Just
Yeah,
to jump in
yeah.
agreement with Ebaya on this issue. Uh, in the first place, this this SCUML certification is statutorily under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment.
Mm,
Statutorily,
Mm-hmm.
based on the Money Laundry Prohibition Act uh, and the Prevention of Terrorism Act, uh, that this is designed to help in curtailing some of these infringements. It's actually under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. So, and truly speaking, just the idea of going to EFCC office is scary already for
Mm-hmm.
for businesses. It's already scary. Even when I was going, I was sitting in that office are not feeling very not feeling very comfortable. I mean,
Oh my God.
So
I
imagine
had that school
you
of thought
as
too. Yeah.
a coach and a trainer, you are not comfortable. It's like telling
Yeah.
somebody, let's
yeah.
go to police
I
station.
think
I mean,
Like,
let's
who
let
would
me
go.
want
jump
to
in.
go there?
Let me jump in. I think that is why this whole thing was done online. Understand? But the intention is good. The whole thing is online. But this seems to be like a
Mm,
pattern. It starts in the beginning,
mm,
it's online, it's working fine. After some time, it
Yeah,
seems as
mm.
if something was done technically and it goes down. Then you now begin to get people who are doing it through third parties and the rest. That is what we are seeing. I just hope it doesn't continue. I think we have almost something similar with the names ID card thing. I don't know, but I think this is something that,
aha.
yeah,
That you don't. It's not that you think. It's like that. Even with the
okay,
names,
okay, okay. So
it's
it's
like
been
that.
repeated.
So it's a
It's
trend.
not because I had to inquire through the
In
third
fact,
party. I had to inquire through the source we used recently, and I discovered that like just what Mr. Musa said, he is an agent inside EFCC. He has a business center. So there seem to be, I wouldn't say allegedly, there seem to be something being done to scuttle it, maybe technically on the website. The government may not even know about it, understand? So I think this is what the government should actually look into. You know more about that, Mr. Fong.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, interesting. Why should it be
So
online for convenience
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
you cannot actually register online? What's the point? Is it, and then any of the third parties we have used, like we have Ebaya said, and phone, they pay for it. Something that is supposed to be free in every other developed country, and even countries that intend to be developed. When something is online and is free, is free. If it's something you need to pay for, then you pay for. Is it
That's
a
right.
case of the hunter becoming the hunted? Because obviously it is illegal for you to pay for it.
It's
And
a
then the
Nigerian
agency
thing.
that will arrest you for illegality
It's a
is like,
Nigerian thing. So we just pray that the government looks into this whole thing. That's it.
that's it. All.
And
Yeah.
you
So,
know, I don't
Dan, you
know.
want to lend your voice? Okay. I think he's not ready yet.
I think we
As
should.
we
We
wrap
should
up, yeah,
okay.
Phone, you wanted to say something, so we move to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry,
proceed.
okay. Sorry, I want to mention this as one of the experiences while I was processing the whole thing. In fact, when my certificate was ready, and then I received a call. Somebody said, "Okay, he's calling me from EFCC office." In fact, at a point, I have to switch off my phone and then this,
Oh
And then
my God.
and then
this
calm down.
person
Can you imagine?
calling me from EFCC office.
I can imagine what you
Something
feel. I
just
can
came and say,
imagine.
okay, so I have to say I switch off my phone and then okay, then on it again. The person now said, no, I don't have to be worried. He was calling me pertaining to this recent school registration process, that my certificate was ready. Then I was very comfortable and then continue with the discussion with the person. So I just want to see if it is going to be like make easy for us, because even some people by the time they now go to the website and then see EFCC as in EFCC logo appearing there, some people will be discouraged. I am very sure of this. And you can't proceed. You can't do further business development support services. You can't access any, because if your business is not having a functional bank account, it's just like you have not done and you have not started
Yeah,
doing any
that's
business.
right.
That is
That's
what
right.
we keep on telling them. And this is one of the prerequisites when you come to the issue of account opening, with in terms of operating a commercial or maybe corporate account with any bank. You must need a SCUML registration certificate. So if you can make the process easier, accessible, affordable, I think it's better. It will go a long way. Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you very much. I think on this note,
Yeah.
we'll wrap up the EFCC stuff. But it reminds me of a certain experience I had. An NGO came. A business came that they had fought for a contract for about a year plus, and they had gotten everything ready. When they went to like sign the details, they said, "Where's your SCUML from EFCC?"
mm,
That is what broke down that business. They didn't have it.
that's right.
They tried online. They tried using agents. They were scammed several times. So
Oh
it
my
will be
God.
good
Yeah.
if the federal government take note of these things and make very important agencies like the EFCC, CAC functional, so that Nigeria's economy will pick up. It will pick up if businesses are comfortable in registering and continuing their businesses lawfully. I think that's a wrap on that. Having said that, Kevin, it's over to you for the next item.
Yeah,
You're
I
still
think
on
still I
TV.
think still on EFCC we have a drama going on nationally. The better I don't know what to call it. Is it better Edu saga or the better educator?
Well, is it better or bitter?
I don't know, but it sounds more like it sounds more like better. Okay. I don't know. I think the last I heard, I don't know if she honored the invitation from the EFCC, but the monies that we have been seeing have been missing from the moved from the national account to the personal account. In fact, at some point, one or two, some people thought what they were seeing was not real, but from what we are seeing, it seems as if this whole thing is real. 44 billion moved from one account. The other person accusing the other person and say, "Oh, you are about to steal from this account, so I have to move the money to another account." So the Betta Edu saga is raging, and I think what I've noticed is that Nigerians right now don't seem to even be they are not even perturbed with what is going on, because this is just one particular amount of money we've seen misappropriated, and it seems to be like a norm, but it's out there. I don't know what we have to say about this. Let's start, Mr. Ayuba. What do you say about the issue? Betta Edu saga, sir. Mr.
Okay, you
Musa.
mean phone?
Okay, okay. Oh, sorry. My name is. Okay, I thought you are referring to another Ayuba. Okay. You see,
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, no, no,
one of
listen.
the things that
Your take on
surprised
the whole
me of the
scenario.
whole thing, yeah, I one of the things that I can mention here, even though I'm not a civil servant, but I think I saw it yesterday. Somebody, maybe a statement from Ministry of Humanitarian Services, that sending money from the is it official account to a private individual account that they have not had. They did not commit any offense. I was wondering if what I was reading was actually the same thing that was coming from such ministry. Everything that has to do with activities that involve using money from one particular ministry to do some certain activities, everything must follow processes officially. I never expected that such huge money will be taken from office account to another person account, and then somebody was telling us that he has not committed any wrong. I think that process is very, the procedure is wrong. And it's uncalled for. And I expected that using monies like that, just like the previous administration, you realize that monies were allocated to maybe school feeding activities and they were wrongly implemented. So I feel there are a lot of things to do with monies than even school feeding, or maybe payment for relief materials or something like that. We should expect that, like, for example, in my state, Niger State, we have a lot of gap when it comes to the issue of teachers in schools. And then we are also looking at, we have a lot of graduate NC holders, BSE holders, and people that are qualified to be teaching and they don't have job. So we can I want to recommend that those monies, because of the kind of the experience we've had in the past, because people are embezzling this money. If you use this money to at least, and taking voluntary teachers, where you are paying them some monthly stipends. Out of this money, you are helping the community. And then you will be helping also other people, because people will be employed. And then the student or the schools will not have qualified teachers. And then the student will also feel that, okay, no, they have the objective of going to school have been achieved, because there are teachers who can teach them. So you see that these monies will go directly to this process. And then I want to believe to some extent the issue of investment will be at minimum. So taking this money to buy things, and then in the process is going to be embezzled, it shouldn't be the right full way to go about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Mr.
Yeah,
Fong, can we
yeah,
hear from can you get your take on
yeah.
this?
Yes, in addition to what Ebayaya just submitted, it's very unfortunate, really, that uh, Nigerians are having to go through this kind of ordeal. It's one too many, one too many,
Mhm.
and uh, there's need for the president to put his feet down, uh, and show Nigerians that indeed uh, he wants to fight corruption. For me, this is a classical case that he can use to show Nigerians that he means what he says. Uh, he wants to practice what he preaches. Otherwise, it's going to be the same story as we have heard in the past. Uh, and unfortunately, uh, Ni- instead of Nigerians coming out to really condemn this, you hear some people, like my colleague said, that she didn't do anything wrong. There is no organization, not even government. There is no organization, your corporate organization and my corporate organization, that will allow corporate funds to be paid. In fact, there are organizations that even for contractors, those organizations don't pay for the services that have been rendered into a private account. You must provide a corporate account for the payment of such
Yes.
services. So it's unacceptable that you are attempting to pay monies into private accounts. I mean, it's a clear indication or a clear invitation for embezzlement. And so it's unacceptable, and the president should do all he can to to assure Nigerians that he doesn't mean business as usual. It's one too many. And you see, sometimes I feel like Nigerians have heard about humongous amount of money that have been embezzled, that Nigerians are beginning to lose I begin to lose touch with what the actual value of these monies are. You hear billions of naira being embezzled and being looted. And Nigerians now, it looks like we don't even know the true value of these amounts of monies. 585 585
Million.
million naira. It's not small money.
It is not.
It's not small money.
Hmm.
It can
Yeah.
solve critical problems in some sectors in this country. Some problems that have lingered for quite some time.
Mhm.
And yet you're sending these monies to private accounts. I mean, it's unheard of. So it's good she's been suspended for me. Uh, and we hope that the investigations see the light of day. that this does not go the way of other investigations where snakes have swallowed money, uh, monkeys have swallowed
Monkeys
money in the past, uh, and
I
nothing,
think
nothing.
baboons
you're breaking. It
are
will be
feasting with money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
So,
actually,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
just like Phone has said, something that kept bothering me is, okay, was he suspended because her own didn't go through, or there was a whistleblower, a patriotic Nigerian that thought the process was not supposed to be like that? What of those ones that we don't know? Because right from
That's
the
right.
onset, there's a school of thought that believes that if the leadership is faulty or found wanting on issues that are quote unquote illegal, how can that leadership be able to put together a legal process? It's like there's that doubt. So yes, if there's a real will to do something about corruption per se, things should be more transparent. I mean, can
yeah,
you
yeah,
imagine?
Mr. Palm.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Palm. The problem is we the people out there just know one thing for sure, that this whole thing will be swept under the carpet as usual, and
Mm,
nothing will be done about it. The culprits will not be brought to book. Like it's a whole jamboree. That's the that's the problem. So that's why if you look at it, Nigerians are not even too because they know this one. We have more horrible situations. Snake swallowed money, monkey did something to money, and at the end of the day, nothing happened. Nothing happened in the whole
Oh
situation.
yeah.
So these are not that way. Most Nigerians feel we just be swept under the carpet. To me, the audacity of this one is what surprised me. In fact, when I saw those people, in
honestly.
fact, the one that trended the most was the 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 flight ticket to a non-existent airport
Airport.
Kogi State, airport to
Yeah.
Kogi State,
mm,
then
mm,
then payment for taxi to move around. You imagine, you see the audacity, the way it's going on in our
mm,
faces now is what begins to bother me. See, if I remember what I watched the father of modern Singapore, what he said
mm,
for us to bring back our country. He made a statement. He said we had to make sure that there was consequences for things like this.
Yes.
People had
We
to be
must,
Yes.
locked up.
yeah, we must
They
make the
can't go to YouTube and find
politics
video out there. He
clean.
said they
Politics
asked him. They
must be
said,
clean.
yeah. They said, what exactly did you do? He said, see, we just had to make sure that there was consequences for people for actions like this. People had to be locked up. If at the end of the
Hmm.
day Betta Edu, based on those things we saw, which are still alleged, claimed to be alleged, we saw that those things were actually took place, and they are still going to be working free. Then see, we are in for it in this country, not just for us, but for our
mm.
generations to come. That's my general take on the issue. That's it. Over
Yeah,
to you, Mr. Over to you, Mr.
Mr.
Wamba.
Mr. Kevin, Mr.
Yeah.
Kevin, please let me share one experience here. And because what people are saying now is, why is it that most of these scandals are almost associated with what did they call it, Ministry of Humanitarian Services,
Yes, yeah.
Here you have
um,
women.
and then where we have we are already, we see that people supposed to deal with many disasters situation we have been faced in this country, and you realize that women are involved, and then most of it is from the humanitarian Ministry for Humanitarian Services. I we are having a meeting. I work for one NGO, a local NGO in Niger State, where we had a meeting the day before yesterday, and one of the staff was sharing experience from the camp from Niger State, one of the camps in Niger State. Uh, we are discussing about psychosocial support, and he was saying during one particular session he was engaging one of the IDP people, one of the victims, and then he was telling, they were sharing their stories. Even they said, some of them said they even prefer to go back to their communities to be killed by bandits than being killed by some of the things, atrocities that have been happening in the camps. He said most of these the staff, they realize that if they send them to deliver some of these relief materials to them, in fact they take up more than 80% of the total thing and then deliver little to them. And some of the
mm,
time these things are not sufficient to take care of their basic needs. So they realize
no.
that staying in the camp is even a waste of time. So that some of them are being killed by some of these little diseases that can easily be cured. So you realize that to them it's better for them to go and be killed by bandits than to be killed in the camp. So it's a whole lot of corruption, and I want to believe we could do better than what we have been doing. So there are some supposed to be a deliberate processing and attempt to ensure that the processes are well taken care of and then monitored by, maybe if it's going to be a third party people that can do this, because I believe that government people cannot deliver these things the way we want them to be delivered. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Mm, mm,
Bayaya.
mm,
And as
yeah.
we wrap up this topic, Kevin, I
Mm,
think one
mm,
central message is there is corruption. This government has
yeah.
just been in office for less than a year. And like Fund said, this is an opportunity for this government to prove itself being for the people. If corruption is not stemmed, then the country is doomed just 100 days plus, like half a year into the reign. So let there be deliberate efforts and not whitewashing it at the top. Somebody was actually saying the Ministry for Humanitarian is like a special seat for girlfriends of people in high places, and they are there to
Mm,
celebrate it. These are Nigerian funds,
mm,
and people are really hungry. People are really dying. Infrastructure is
mm,
lacking, so something has to
mm,
be done and done urgently. Ladies and gentlemen, you're still on to DDM, and this is As E Dey Happen. Kevin, over to you.
mm,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, a damning report about a clergy just a few years after he passed on, by the BBC. I don't know. I don't know if you saw that on the media, but the BBC brought out an article yesterday, and it gave a damning report on the activities of Synagogue Church of Nations, abuses that took place in the synagogue. I don't know. In fact, the school of thought out there that some people don't know whether to believe this or not. Some people say, "Oh, is this a way of castigating?" We saw videos, we saw evidence of what they brought out there about the church in itself. Saying the church did a lot of abuse. In fact, a lot of people, their mind went back to someone similar. Me myself, my mind went back to someone similar who had almost a similar issue. If you remember Reverend King, I don't know whether he's still in on death row. I think in prison now. But we have a damning report on TB Joshua's church, which was trending yesterday from the foreign media, from the BBC itself. So I don't know what your take is on this. Some people say it's just a way of castigating the church. Some people say, well, in fact, I don't know what to say about, but let's just hear your views. I don't know if we can start from Mr. Fong. You have something to say about this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have actually not watched that documentary. I see that it's in about three episodes. Uh, I've seen some posts about that, but I've not taken time to watch. But I've followed people's reaction. Uh, so the feeling I am getting, the pulse I'm getting, is that the report or documentary uh, indicts the late man of God uh, with issues around uh, sexual crimes, uh, and I don't know. I think for me, uh, crime crime generally needs to be rooted out. In any case, once there is crime and injustice in any form or shape, uh, it needs to be spoken against. Whoever is affected uh, should should face the law in that regard. So we should not tolerate uh, any of such acts. If it has been, if I understand that the BBC actually started investigation on these issues even before the demise of TB Joshua. And so it had been an ongoing investigation before now. So it's up to the, if the investigation or the result of that investigation is not true, then the church is still there, because some people say, why are they bringing it down after he's dead and so on. I don't think that is a valid argument, because the organization that he headed is still there. We're still talking about the the heinous crimes of the Second World War long after Hitler is gone. We're still talking about it. The victims are still there. And so, in this case, if it's true, then uh, the the long arm of the law should catch up with whoever aided and abetted, because crimes like this are not usually carried out by one person.
Yeah.
Usually, it requires some collaborators to be able to do that, and even to cover it up for so long, if that is true. So my take is that uh, the law should take its course, find out if that investigation is true, and then
Mhm.
if it's not true, there are consequences to to uh, fake news, isn't it? There are
Exactly.
consequences.
Exactly.
Aha,
All right.
because you're tarnishing. It's called libel, isn't it?
It's
Uh,
fun.
Defamation of character, all of those things. Yeah.
It's
So I think we have institutions that are saddled with the responsibility of handling these things. Those institutions should kick into action and look at these issues critically and objectively. And if found wanting, the law should take its course.
all right. Okay. Well, Mr. Yuba, your take on this, just to brush straight, Mr. Musa,
Ebayaya.
okay,
Ebaya,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
bye. Your take on this, just to brush through this. Are you still with us? It's like he's not
It's
with
like it's
us.
frozen.
I think it's
Yes.
frozen. Okay, okay. So let's just call that.
we can
Well,
we can you know the interesting thing about Nigerians is that
mm, mm,
when issues like this come up, uh, we bring in all sorts of sentiments uh, into play,
mm,
and we build up all sorts of conspiracy theories. Uh, we talk about the motive of the person, uh, or the body that is coming up with this. Because I've heard people say, "Why are they Why now? Why is it that they are bringing this down after he's dead?" Some people saying it's a distraction uh, to the major issues that Nigeria is facing. Some people say there are ulterior motives uh, to bring in
Mm,
this. It's an attack on the church. Is an attack. I mean, when these kind of things happen, when you're facing uh, problems or challenges, I think it's important to just take a step back,
Mm.
whether as an individual or a corporate body, to take a step back and do an analysis of the role that you played in getting the organization or getting yourself, getting your community into
Hmm.
that situation, rather than just blame an outside force or someone that you think is an enemy, and you just keep blaming them. When you do that, usually you never get to solve that problem. The problem
Hmm.
will continue to linger because you have not seen and accepted that, okay, there is something wrong here. And there is a part that I played in getting us into this situation. And so, as long as you don't accept that, then it's going to be difficult
Yeah,
for you to consider the action you need to take to get out of the situation.
you're
So I
absolutely
think,
right. Oh, you're absolutely right.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's
Yeah, Fun, you're
important that
absolutely
that Nigerians be objective about these things. Is there a problem? Is there a crime that has been committed? If there is a crime that has been committed, can we root this out?
Thank you
Otherwise,
very
it will
much.
continue.
Yes,
So
yes. Sometimes, Fun, when things happen, people will bring versions into it, different stories.
Yeah,
Some are saying in the grapevine, no, they are jealous because the Synagogue Church of Nations, was doing miracle signs and wonders. You can imagine at a certain point, politicians from all over Nigeria go there for blessings for their
that's true.
elections. That's how powerful that church had been. So after the demise of TB, Joshua, his soul rest in peace, this thing is coming up now. There's always, okay, God don't catch them. Or, hey, how powerful would it? I mean, how can somebody be that powerful? All sorts of things. We really don't know. But as the things unfold, I bet you DDM, as it dey happen, we will keep following up on it. Uh, Musa Bayaya, you can log out and log in. Maybe you have better luck. Kevin, over to you.
yeah,
We can move to the next.
I think we should go to sports on a lighter note right now, but not really on a lighter note. I thought by now
Hello.
The Nigerian team would have sat up, and after losing that World
Hello.
Cup to Ghana, to the last World Cup, we thought maybe they would have been much more better. But Nigerians, from what they are saying in the preparation to the upcoming Nations Cup, which is starting on the 13th, a few days from now, are showing signs that look, people are beginning to wonder if we are ready. In the friendly match yesterday with a fellow West African country, we lost 2 goals to nothing. And in a team where you have Africa's best player right now as we speak, in the person of Victor Osimhen, us losing like that in the final friendly match, it calls for concern. So Nigerians right now are not really happy. So I don't know. My take on this is I'm not actually looking up. I'm excited with the upcoming Nations Cup based on the Nigerian team, but who knows? Maybe things will change. So I don't know. What's your take, Mr. Ibaya? Are you back? I know you lost. You lost sport. So let's have your take on this. Are you with us? I think he's still.
Okay. Ebayaya, you flashed and you went back.
I can see him. I can
If
see
all
him.
those monies were stolen, were invested in infrastructure, our network would have been better. I just
Yeah.
keep saying that. Now we're talking and the person is, is gone. Can you imagine?
Mr.
Yeah,
Ford,
Phone, let's hear from you.
are you a sports fan? What's your take?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm, I am a sport fan. Uh, but like you said, because of the dismal performances of our national teams, not just the Super Eagles, I think all the other national teams have not been performing uh, very well.
Optimal.
Football national teams. have not been performing very well. And so for some of us that had been following in the past, sincerely speaking, to tell you how uh, uninterested uh, a lot of Nigerians are towards this coming Nations Cup. If you ask me right now, what date is the Nations Cup beginning? I mean, I mean, it's crazy. I have to think. I have to think. I
Uh,
mean, because there's okay. What is
the,
there to
pre- the
follow
president,
now?
the president has even cleared their debts. The president has cleared NFF debts. He has cleared.
Good.
I think he has paid the workers up front. But even the
I
STV
mean,
has lost their rights. They've lost their rights to the competition. So
so
please go
so
ahead.
so so. I mean, for me, these are the facts. The facts. Our last appearance in the Nations Cup was, in fact, I think it was one of the poorest. Uh,
Mm.
yes, in recent history in our performances, we were knocked out in the very first knockout stage uh, of that competition. Yes,
So
so
long
I
for
mean,
African
it's crazy,
giants.
and we yes, I mean, and that is one sport that brings Nigerians
Together.
together. In fact, you hear stories of even uh, during crisis times, there are ceasefires, and warring factions will watch football matches together.
Hmm. And hug each
Yes,
other at the end.
and hugging each other when Nigeria scores.
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, so it's a yes, it's a tool that we should use and continue to use to unite this country. It's so potent in uniting our country. I mean, we boast of uh, Victor Osimhen, for example, and then we're also inviting Ahmed Musa to the team,
Okay.
and yes, as well is the captain. But I really don't know what additional value uh, Ahmed Musa brings to that team right now. He's not in form in his club. He's not playing regularly, uh, and so on. So, okay, maybe if we brought him so that he can give moral support or provide leadership in the dressing room, uh, provide some kind of stability in the dressing room
Yeah.
for the Super Eagles, well, that's fine. That is needed. But if that is blocking uh, a spot or an opportunity for someone else that can deliver goals or deliver a good work rate in support of the entire team, then I think that's not a very good call for the
Mm.
team. You know, 2-0 in a friendly match, few days to the tournament. I mean, are we really prepared for this?
Big question. And on that note, phone, I'm afraid we have almost
Ebaya
come
is
to
I
the
back.
think,
end.
yeah.
Yes.
Ebaya is back
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Your
Ebayaya,
take
your take on
on sports.
Nigeria's loss and preparations for our competitions as we wrap up.
Okay,
Ebayaya, is the audio
I think he
clear? Can
gestured. I
you
think
hear
he
us?
gestured. I think he gestured. He's not able to hear. So over to you, Mr.
Okay.
Rampan. Yeah.
Yes, well done, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Fun. You have been fun to be with. You live up to your name. By the way, how did you get the name Fun? Because most people will just say Fun. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, you're right. That's sometimes when I introduce myself, my name is Fun. People will go like, is what
Nickname.
type of name is? Yes, it's a nickname. but it's actually my name. It's actually a name that my father gave me. But it's
Okay, that's
actually
a
a tribe. It's
traditional
actually a
name
tribe.
or an
Yes,
English
actually
name.
a tribe. It's actually a tribal name. Um, yes, and it's actually pronounced Fun, Fun, Fun. Uh,
Okay.
but
Okay.
in English climes, they call me Fun, and I like it anyway.
All right. So it's been fun to be with you, fun, and also fun to have our guest Musa Ebaya, yeah, right from Mina, joining us on As E Dey Happen today. Would love to have this conversation continue, but we have to stop here. Tomorrow, by the grace of the Almighty, we will be coming back with another edition of As E Dey Happen. Stay tuned with DDM every day from 12. Ebaya, can you say bye now? It's like your connection has been off and on. Oh,
Okay.
okay, I could hear a crack. But thank you so much for making time to being part of the program. On
Thank
behalf
you.
of myself, Kevin will do the final wrap up. Ryan Palm Jr. saying, please don't forget, we'll be here. Kevin?
Okay, once again, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is another day, and we hope we are going to come back tomorrow on this particular program. So we want you to stay tuned. From me and from Mr. Rampam in the studios, we say bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Rampam.
Hey,
Have
thank
a
you,
good
phone.
day.
I saw you go blank. I thought you lost your connection.
Yeah, I think some issues, but thank God it's at the end.
Yeah, he's a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hmm.
Kevin. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.